What's up everyone, welcome to another Cypher guide. We have setups, traps, cameras, everything you need for Cypher on Breeze, and it's the new Breeze. There's a lot of things you can still carry over from the old Breeze setups. For example, cages from hallway, setups on A, and some minor cameras, but a lot of things have been changed, especially the Canon camera in attacker side. There's a new Canon camera, it is very nice. You have new B setups, partially new A setups, and now let's get right into it. We start with B side. Going into tunnel here, you want to place a camera by jumping on the bricks, then you run over here, trapwire goes like this, and a cage on the exact same spot because you want to hide both sides of the tower. Then I tripwire here on the box, and a cage on this specific leaf here, because, well, in between the leaves, because you're going to be positioned on this corner. When enemies are coming in, you activate the cage, they run into the trapwire, and then you look over the cage and surprise them. You can also use this with a stinger, shotgun, a shorty, whatever you want. When enemies are coming directly to sight, you just activate the cage, there's no gaps because of the placement of the cage, and then you can back off however you want. And here's what it looks like from the defender's side. So you see, they can't really see you, but when you look up, they can see a bit of your head, but it's gonna be difficult to focus on that because of the trapwire. Another setup we have is by getting up on the box, just like this. You want the same camera, but then you place your trapwires and cages differently for another wallbang. And this one goes exactly like that. Now back here, and then you go to the back side for your positioning. And these setups are similar to the old setups on B, but your positioning is a bit different. Keep in mind that when you're crouched here, enemies can see you from mid, but if you back up a bit, so you don't hug the box, then you'll be fine. And that's it. You just activate the cages. You can also be positioned here when enemies are coming in, thanks to the position of the cage. But keep in mind you don't have a tripwire on the corner in case they rush the corner. Next up is a one-way for mid. You just position similarly, aim to the similar direction, and then a tripwire. On the door, you want in the middle of the door if possible, but don't spend too much time because you gotta run all the way back here. Set up a tripwire for when they come in through main, a cage, and then up on the box. And now you place your camera over here. That's so you can see into mid and main at the same time. And you position on the box because you're protected from both angles when you come from mid. That's what it looks like. They can't see you. If they go into the cage, then of course they can see you a bit, but there's a trapwire there blocking them. Next up, we have another setup here. This one is more forward for mid. So you place the trapwire like this, and then you run all the way back. And you can see up in the timer that you do have time to run like this. And yeah, just make sure that you don't get body blocked by teammates and whatnot. And keeping your knife out when you run. Here, you gotta be fast. You gotta be snappy. Trapwire out here. And then camera out. And thanks to the wall that he introduced in mid, they can't see you when you place this, so you're safe. You're much safer than before compared to now. So when the enemies are running in there, you just cage and shoot. Here's another camera you can do in mid. Pretty neat. You can see what enemies when they're coming in. It shows the enemies right as they jump up here and move to the side and so on, as well as when they run through spawn. So you can see if rotations are happening from A to B, for example. Here are some alternative cameras. You can do them post plant or even on defender side. Nobody expects a floor camera, so go for this. It's a nice change up that you can go for, especially post plant, because you can see enemies in very funny locations, so to say. People don't expect it. Here's a retake cage when coming from B to A, and just be mindful so that nobody's camping hallway there for whatever reason. Aim in the same direction, and now it lands there. Looks like this, and this allows you to retake from spawn without having to deal with multiple angles at the same time. So you activate the cage, clear it close by, clear to the left, and now you go up the stairs, and you have much more room to work with. Moving on to A setups, we have a one-way setup coming up here. Camera there, tripwire for mid, and a cage in here, so that yeah, you activate the one-way, as well as a tripwire, a long one, like this. That's so in case enemies are pushing out, you know, you catch them, and then you save that one cage. If enemies are coming from mid, you just activate the cage, and then shoot them like this. They can see you back, but it's a bit difficult for them to see you. So, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty strong one. If enemies are pushing out here into A main, or if they use doggo or whatever, you can cage and then let the doggo run through the cage and shoot the doggo so that it doesn't break your trapwire. You can cage pretty much the same way, or you can just throw it further away. Another setup here for A is running through the middle, trapwire like this, so that in case enemies are pushing through the pyramids, and the trapwire here in case they're running to the default plant on pyramid, cage there, and then a camera in the corner so that you see when enemies are coming in, but not too early. You don't want to see them too early because you don't have to. When they're coming in here, you activate cage, let them run in, and you shoot them. Then you can sneak or run to the other side, activate the cage if they're coming there, shoot them, and then be ready to fight on the other side again, tag them, shoot them, and go to the other side. And you can ping pong like this very effectively. Here's a camera that you can do in A main. Pretty nice when enemies are coming in. If you want to do a nasty shotgun play, you send out a cage and then shoot them when they're coming in. When you want to scout mid as a defender, I recommend this camera because you see very fast info if anyone is pushing. If you want to get more delayed info, play Crossfire with a friend up in mid, you can use this camera. This forces enemies to be more careful when clearing it. For attackers, these are the trapwires that you want to do when you want to stop flankers. Nobody gets past that tripwire without using an ability. And then you have a trapwire here, which also doesn't get past unless they use an ability or destroy it or trigger it. And for the camera, here's the new Canon camera. Very, very nice Canon camera. Line up exactly like I do. Exactly. And then when you jump, at the top of your jump, place the camera, and now you see this. You see nest, you see doors, you see mid, all the vital areas when enemies are pushing mid. Here's another one in case you don't fix the first one, you can use that as a backup. Here's another camera for mid. Much more direct info if you have a very, very fast pushes in mid. Here's for A main. Just sneak up like this, place it on the leaf, and now you see it all the way in here. Very nice. As well as on B site, if you get into B main, I would recommend using your camera on the stairs, because then you can do a fast spin and see if anyone is close by, and then you can clear the left side effectively. And that's all. Thanks so much for watching. Expect more very soon. Thanks so much for watching the video. Make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button and also the notification bell. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.